Well, thank you. I spent about the last 10 or 15 years embroiled in budget issues. First at UCSF, where on the advice of the same consulting firm, Chancellor Bergenow was paying $3 million to make Berkeley efficient. We merged our medical center with Stanford and lost $200 or $300 or $400 million. So I really think you should get another consultant here. There were four of us, when this idea came forward, there were four members of the UCSF faculty who got up and said, "This is stupid." Leaving aside the philosophical aspects of it, which I disagreed with, the numbers just didn't add up. And my experience in dealing with the budget issues at the system-wide level is that the administration is not very good at arithmetic. And what we did when President Dines and Chancellor Reed from CSU signed the Compact for Higher Education with the governor shortly after he came into office, the most shocking aspect of that was that nobody, as best as I could tell, actually put the numbers into a spreadsheet to see what it would do to the University of California. And that brings me to one of my couple of fundamental messages to you, and that is, when I listen to people debate the budget and talk about activism, it's always focused on the legislature. And I think the legislature is almost irrelevant in terms of the problems that we have here, partially because the Democrats are so gutless, but primarily because the prime directive, and I'm dating myself, at the president's office, and this goes back for many, 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 many years, probably 20 or 30 years, is to cut the best deal they think they can get with the governor and then blame the legislature. And I think that that is the fundamental fact that we need to think about, and we need to lay the responsibility for the complete mess we have in public higher education, and it's not just UC, it's the whole system, at the feet of the governor. And you see this continuing urge to protect the governor going on today. And if I could have the slides while they come up, well, okay. This is the interview with, and I have actually refrained from saying much about President Yudof because I think he's way smarter than the previous president and has inherited a big mess. But in the New York Times on September 4th, President Yudof was asked the question, UC is facing a budget shortfall of at least $753 million because of cuts. Do you blame the governor? And my answer would have been yes. It's the governor's budget. There's always a little fighting between the legislature and the governor over the details of the UC budget. The Republicans want less research on labor. The Democrats want more. There's always skirmishes over outreach. But the basic budget that gets approved is the budget that the governor puts forth. And he said, no, this is a long-term secular trend across the whole country. We're just being squeezed out. And I am, in the words of our former provost, Rory Human, idealist because I think data actually matters. So which it certainly didn't in the debate over tobacco money at UC, but I went and got the data. And if anybody wants more, we have this website called keepcaliforniaspromise.org. But this is the educational appropriations per student FTE, per full-time equivalent student, in constant dollars. And the blue line is the United States as a whole, and the yellow line is UC. Okay, and you can see that the cuts here are not following the long-term secular trend, and the best thing we can say about the governor is he's bringing us down to the national average, which includes the two-year community colleges, by the way, because we couldn't get good data otherwise. So the statement that Yudof made is just wrong, okay? And frankly, and I see my friends who are leaders in the Senate, the letter that the chairs of the academic senate sent to the New York Times repeated this error. which I hope you will send another letter correcting it. Now, if you go to the next slide, this is the average undergraduate tuition, and you can also see that we are not following national trends, especially since Governor Schwarzenegger came in. The general pattern is Republicans' fees go up. Although Gray Davis, you know, he in his last years when he was desperate for money to make up for his mismanagement of the California economy, he stuck it to you too. But we've just never seen anything like what's going on under Schwarzenegger. And you have to understand that this is not the product. You can turn the lights back up, that's all the slides.